somehow it seems natural. You seem like you would be a Gene.
I agree.
Hey guys, it's Suresh. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning into another video with me today. I have the legendary Mel Odom with us today. Hi Mel.
Hi Guy. How
you doing,
Suresh?
Thank you so much for having us at your home.
Delighted to have you here.
Mel's home is gorgeous. He has the most beautiful art all over the place. Is this all your stuff?
Oh no, there's other people's work that I love.
It's beautiful. I have heard about Gene for many years. I have seen her picture in any doll publication, magazine, blog that I've ever been on. You are really like the legend, I would say.
Thank you. When Gene came out, there wasn't a 16-inch fashion doll.
Right.
Not a vinyl one, not one that anyone played with. My reason for making Gene was that Barbie at the time was all big hair and big skirts. It really wasn't doing anything connected to actual fashion. I mean, considering that Barbie had started with having such cutting-edge fashion,
right.
I mean real fashion, real clothes,
right.
I just thought that was a really sad place for such a legend to have gone. The first drawing I did of her was 1991. I did it just as a drawing. I really didn't have any intention of doing a doll. I just thought, well, what would a doll look like if I created one?
Were you a doll lover before that?
Always. I had had dolls since I was a very small child. My mom would buy me dolls.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so progressive of her.
My mother was very sophisticated about that. I had a Titian bubble cut Barbie when I was like 10 or something, like 10 or 11, something like that.
Okay.
Again, my mother bought it for me. My dad was okay with it.
That's so cool.
I am all about dolls being stylized. I don't like very realistic dolls.
Yeah.
They leave me cold. I feel like they're something other than a doll. After I did the drawing of Gene, the first drawing, I started getting calls from doll shops saying, we hear you're designing a doll.
Really?
Yeah, really. I know, I was completely shocked by it. It started me thinking, wow, I might really do a doll.
Did you know about manufacturing?
No, nothing.
Molds?
Nothing. I was a complete novice. Over that time, I also got to figure out who Gene was, that she was a movie star.
Okay.
Because I liked the period clothes, the 40s and 50s clothes.
Okay.
And it would also give her the chance to have all these different identities. So there'd be lots and lots of different people she could be as a movie star. And I was so amazed nobody had done that before. That I actually started calling around shops saying, do you have a movie star doll? And they go, no, thank you. Click, like that.
Really?
I was doing marketing research. I didn't even know that term yet. I was just trying to see if somebody had already done it. Friends of mine who were actual designers for film made clothes for me for it, because I don't sew. She had a really good body to dress because I made the waist very small because that's where fabric is the most layered.
Yes.
I made her body based on sort of like Vargas and Petty girls. There's there's illustrations, pin-up illustrations of the 40s and 30s. My boyfriend's name was Gene Bagnato. So we started calling her Little Gene as a joke, sort of like, I'm going to go work on Little Gene today. And then at a certain point we went, oh, let's really call her Gene.
Where did Marshall come from?
I'm home with my mom in North Carolina watching this movie, and there's a actress in it named Brenda Marshall. And as the credits rolled by, I go, Marshall, Gene Marshall. Oh my God, that's such a good name, Gene Marshall. I would slip it into conversations with friends, like about real movie stars. I'd say, oh, Gene Marshall, she did that film with Cary Grant. And they'd go, oh yeah, I remember her. And
it sounds legit.
Exactly, well that was the point. I needed it to sound legit. Gene Tierney is like my favorite movie star. So that and my boyfriend being named Gene and that coincidence, and I just thought, okay, her name's Gene. We flew to Chicago and we met with Ashton Drake, literally in a big boardroom with people, men in suits and women in suits lined up on it. And they said, tell us about Gene. And I went, well, she has to have real eyelashes. And they went,
that was the first thing you said?
First thing I said,
oh my God,
out of my mouth. And they went, okay, we can do that. I said, well, okay, we're good. I would go to any doll show within a 40-mile radius of New York City, and I would bring Gene with me, and people would go crazy because she was a different size. Vogue Patterns started making Gene patterns, and I got to go to Vogue and look through their catalogs from the 40s. We made a a second character, and her name was Madra Lord.
Oh.
And she wasn't Gene's best friend at all. She was not Midge. She was Gene's worst enemy.
Oh.
Because it was Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
I actually dreamt the name Madra.
Really?
I woke up in the middle of the night going, Madra. Gene fits in an adult's hand the way Barbie fits in a child's hand. In fact, I met Ruth Handler once, which was like,
oh my God.
I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy. I really did.
Was she nice?
She was very nice.
Oh.
And she looked like a grandmother from a Disney cartoon. She had really lovely coloring, like very pink skin. She was, I think, gray-haired, dyed blonde, and she was just vivid.
Tell me a little bit about like where her scale came from.
So I did a drawing of the full body, just a nude body, and I had it blown up maybe 10 different sizes from like 14 inches up to 20 inches. And I lay them out on the floor. And I just looked at them all evening. And I thought, which one would I want to play with? I picked up this drawing and I thought, oh, this one looks like this would be a really fun size to hold. And I had my hand, I put my hand on it, compared my hand. I thought I could, it'd be fun to hold.
Yeah.
And then I measured it and it was 15 and a half inches tall. And I thought, okay, Gene's going to be 15 and a half inches tall.
Mel is going to show us a couple of, would you say your favorite Gene dolls?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. This Gene was from our second collection. 2 dolls came out in the second collection. This doll, who is called Blue Goddess, and this doll came out in a really beautiful blue turquoise dress. Okay. And a second doll, which was called Pinup, she came out in this beautiful little peignoir and teddy designed by my friend Tim Kennedy. This was before we did any articulation other than shoulders and legs. I did the makeup on her face, like her eyebrows, her eyeshadow, beautiful. All shades of gray.
So beautiful.
So that it gave her a sort of black and white movie star look, but still was in color. And the whites of her eyes are even pale blue. This is a really amazing little garment she's wearing. It's look at the back of it. It's all laced up.
Wow.
Ribbon tie shoes. Yes, they were really, really. And Gene has gorgeous legs. And Ashton Drake came up with this stand with Gene's name embossed on it. Integrity Toys was the second company to do Gene.
Good old Integrity.
Integrity. And I do believe that name is very well placed. I think they have a lot of integrity. And I enjoyed my 5 years with Integrity. It was really fun.
I'm glad to know that.
And I got along great with Jason, and he got involved in the designing. And this was a suntanned Gene we did one year. And
it's like my color.
Yes, she's beautiful. This was a different sculpt. We completely resculpted the face at Integrity and the body, because now suddenly she's got jointed wrists. She's completely articulated.
So this was how many years later since the first one?
10. Gene ended up at Ashton Drake with jointed elbows and jointed knees and twist waist. Pretty much the same body, because one of the things I always wanted to continue was that all the clothes fit each doll.
Yeah, that's important.
The dress is Ashton Drake. I think the hat is Integrity. She's got a little petticoat on, double tiered.
Beautiful, with black trim.
Yeah, black trim and little pink underpants.
Oh wow.
Yeah. One of the things we did that made other dolls suddenly become story driven. Dolls had names, they had stories about them. Yeah. Integrity did that. Suddenly these dolls had stories about what was going on with them. And I think that Gene started that.
I think they still do.
Yes, they do. In 2010, I retired Gene.
Okay.
Just said, she's moving to Italy. She's not making films anymore. After 3 years, George Gonzalez approached me. He has a lovely doll company called Jamie Show, and said, we would love to do Gene in resin. And I'm like, I don't know, Gene's retired. So he showed me resin. Oh my God, this is so luminous looking. Very articulated and very, very...
I mean, she looks like she's glowing.
Yes, exactly.
Like literally glowing.
Exactly. And when I saw that, I thought, okay, we can do Gene again. Gene is going to come out of retirement. It was only going to be a one-off.
Oh, she was coming
We
back
were only going to do one doll.
Okay.
And it sold out in like 2 hours.
Of course it did.
And we're like, oh, maybe we should do some more dolls.
This outfit, by the way, is perfection.
It's a Dior suit.
I was just gonna say, it's so Dior.
And it was. It's
like Galliano Dior.
Exactly,
almost.
and it was tailored by Doug James, who had done much of Gene's clothes with Ashton Drake.
Shoes.
The shoes.
Oh, they're velvet.
Yes. Yeah.
And she has pantyhose on.
Yep,
Oh
yep,
my
yep,
God.
yep. All of that. And this beautiful, like dark red chignon in the back.
Oh my God.
Another reason I wanted to do it was this.
Oh, wow.
I'll show you something else really cool.
Okay.
This is the wig she came in.
Wow.
This comes with her.
Oh, so you can put her head on and then put some like a wig over that.
And this is a wig made by an Italian lady. I don't know if her name's Illyria, but her wig company is named Illyria. And she makes these astonishing wigs
darling.
for Gene.
Hello.
I design a new face for each doll that comes out. And I actually sit down with colored pencils and draw it.
Really?
Yeah, that way. That way.
I love the little white on the center of the
Well,
lid too.
that's a way, because I always loved that movie
glossy
stars
lid.
had glossy lids, and rather than making the lid glossy, put a little metallic dot on Gene from the beginning.
I love that. These are good lashes.
Yeah, aren't they beautiful?
They're gorgeous.
They really are. These are the best lashes Gene's ever had. They're very fine and they're very thick.
Shoes also, by the way, are
Aren't
beautiful.
they incredible shoes? Check them out.
Stunning. They're so neat.
Yes, we're having another convention in February in Palm Springs, and it may be Gene's last convention for a while. The UFDC, the United Federation of Doll Clubs, has already asked to do a big show on Gene.
Oh, a retrospective.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
In 2019.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about Gene going into retirement.
Well,
Is this like a share, like retirement again? Is she gonna come back?
well, it very easily could be a share kind of thing. Years ago, I did a book on Gene called Gene Marshall, Girl Star. I showed you that.
Yes.
I was approached by someone to do a screenplay of it. So I'm trying to figure out what's the next stage, what's the next way Gene goes.
Really round the story
Exactly.
out. Tell us a little bit about your career before Gene. I know you mentioned a few times that you were an illustrator for 25 years?
20 years. I had always drawn. I'd always loved drawing. I'd always wanted to do that. I moved to New York in 1975 and became a successful illustrator like immediately. Amazing. I started working for Viva magazine, was a woman's magazine, and I started doing drawings for them. And then Blue Boy saw my work in Viva magazine, and I started working for Blue Boy magazine in the late 70s. Wow. And Playboy saw my work in Blue Boy, so I started working for Playboy. And then Time magazine saw my work in Playboy, so I started doing covers and drawings for Time magazine. I've had 2 books of my drawings published.
Wow. To my following, who love dolls and perhaps are feeling nervous about it because of a spouse, a family member, society, whatever.
Oh yeah,
I still,
society
I
in
get
general.
Tons of comments and questions from just everyone asking, like, what should I do? How should I go about this? What would you say to them?
You might need to care less what people think of you. And that's not always easy to access. If you can find a place in yourself that you acknowledge all of this, but continue to do something that you love, that's great. And I think you have to kind of be willing to do that.
So for a new collector that wants to start with Gene, is there a certain collection or time period that you think would make the most sense to start from, or does it not really matter?
Ashton Drake ones might be a good place to start because they were made in much larger numbers than with either of the other companies.
I see.
Like thousands of things. Integrity, we made things by the hundreds.
Okay.
Because of there being more in number, they're lower priced.
Well, Mel, this has been such a treat.
Hadn't it?
I have learned so much from you.
Well, thank you. I've enjoyed it too.
You are a legend. I'm so honored to be here. With that, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you loved learning about Mr. Odom here. Make sure to catch him on his Instagram account at this handle. Make sure to check out his website. Obviously, make sure to check out Gene. I'll list some links down below where you guys can find her. Until I see you guys again, me, Mel, and Gene are headed over to the plaza, right?
For tea.
We're gonna have tea.
And maybe a cocktail.
Does she drink?
Oh, yeah.
Wherever you guys are in the world, we're sending you so much love. Big hugs and kisses for me, Mel, and Gene here in New York.
And Happy New Year.
Yes, and Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Suresh.
We'll see you guys again next Thursday for another video, okay? Bye.
Take care.